Thank you so much for joining me this morning and doing this interview.
Absolutely. So,
I appreciate it.
no problem.
So we figured we'd start at the westernmost part of the county and possibly work our way in, but you were certainly our first thought.
Okay.
Just to get some updates on the current happenings. So yeah, we can start whenever you're ready.
Okay. Just going through a few things, modifications we've done with the city. We've had, I'm sure with everybody else, had to work remotely. Most of our employees are working from home. We've got minimal employees for exposure purposes in City Hall, probably about 10 people, but we are providing still the same level of service that we did before. It's a little more streamlined, I would say, now than it was before. Our building permits are up. We're still having projects come in, still keeping our projects on pace. Nothing's fell behind. We've had our struggles with some of our parks programs we've had to cancel. 4th of July events, 4th of July parade, Woodsville Days, the Rod Run's been canceled. So a lot of events have kind of been canceled due to this COVID-19 and things of that nature. A lot of our businesses are struggling with the closure. Some of them have chosen not to reopen right away because of the volume. They need volume, and because of the way the restrictions are, they can't really bring people into their facility. So they've been doing fairly well, I guess I would say, doing the on curbside pickups. But other than that, we haven't really cut any services. Our housing permits or building permits are up. So city's still running fine. We've had, knock on wood, 2 positive cases in Winsfield I'm aware of, and no deaths, knock on wood. I know St. Charles County is experiencing as a whole some, but not overwhelmingly like we thought. We're very concerned, trying to be mindful of making sure that we're doing our best to protect our citizens and still provide that level of service. With the as far as the city goes, we have $156 million worth of capital improvements over the next 5 years. 70 million of those are transportation related, such as the Dave Hochul Parkway, the turn lane on the Parkway, the widening of Westmeyer, a lot of projects, the south extension of the Parkway. Those projects are still on track. Nothing's really slowed those down, so those projects are moving forward. Slab replacement still continuing. Subdivisions, we're replacing slabs as needed. There's quite a few subdivisions have some bad roads that need to be replaced. For anything as far as assistance with families, we have, St. Anne Joachim Care Services that we provide, that provides assistance. We have the First Step Back Homeless. I have a good relationship with Paul Cruz, so I'm on the actually on the board. We have a lot of other services, churches, clergy. I've worked with Element Church here in Wentzville to have a drop-off point for essential needs during this pandemic. We've had, toilet paper, soap, cleaning, hand sanitizer, diapers, formula for babies, many things, financial donations. We did candy, had a big donation for candy for Easter, and we did that social distancing. People were in their cars. We sanitized all the candy and made up little Easter baskets and provided families with those. So we're doing our best to try to keep, everybody safe, but yet not completely keep everybody at home. But people want to get out there, a little frustrated. So that was good. Any question you want to ask me as I'm going through these?
Well, to go back to the top of the conversation, when you were talking about the city is still running and building permits are still going, right. What has anything changed with owner-occupied residential inspections? Are those still going on as scheduled, as usual?
Well, we don't have inspections anymore. That's up to the buyer. If they want to have an inspection, they get a structural engineer. That's kind of a buyer's choice. That's been working out very fine. We haven't had any really issues. We do have inspections on rental property, but not on purchase. So I know it's been tough for the realtors because I talked to a lot of people in the community about their homes are for sale, but they're not getting a lot of traffic, because of the pandemic. So people are not coming through their homes as much. That's starting to loosen up a little bit. So I know it's kind of affected which everything dominoes. It seems like whenever it affects one thing, it affects everything going down the line. So hopefully that helps your industry comes back a little bit. People, if they wear masks and just practice that distance until we get through this, I think, St. Charles County is strong. And I think working together and doing the right things will, you have to be a kind of self-awareness and protect yourself and decide what's best for you. We can't dictate as a government. We have it all comes down from the chain of command from the governor to the county executive to the municipality. So we don't put any additional restrictions. We follow the guidelines that are set up by the governor. So things are starting to loosen up a little bit, kind of getting back to some sense of normalcy. I don't think we'll see a lot of differences now. You'll see things I believe like in restaurants where you'll see more and more people probably wear masks in restaurants and be a little more cautious about sitting close to people if they're not family. Until it's like anything else, till people get their confidence level back that this is under control. Or, once they come up with a vaccine, I think that'll help as well. But we haven't had a lot of testing out here in St. Charles County. I'm trying to focus on getting some more testing out here that'll help a little bit. But as far as everything else, it's been a challenge. It's been a real challenge for every city. I mean, every mayor, every governor, everybody in this decision-making process has been challenging for everybody. Mm-hmm. The parks are closed. People are tired of being cooped up at home. I know they want to get out and enjoy some things. So, with us canceling a lot of events, and I know most of the municipalities have canceled events. I know people want to get out and enjoy this weather, beautiful weather we're starting to experience. But we will keep providing services. City Hall, we're anticipating opening up City Hall to the public on June the 1st. We don't want to open up too soon. We want to make sure that, we don't open up, have to close it back down again. So we're kind of just taking it step by step and day by day. And we've had to cancel some programs. We might open up our polls because we can't staff them. And I hear that's another issue out there in the public. People are on unemployment are not wanting to go back to work too soon, for whatever reason. So they're having problems staffing, and that's kind of where we're at, staffing our pools and with the lifeguards and stuff. So I've heard a lot of that going on too. So
I wondered about that. I wonder about that for all county pools. So that's an interesting.
Yeah, I've had a couple of people I've talked to. The kids said, "I'm making more unemployment than I was making working, so I'm not going back until it runs out." Well, did we create another issue? I don't know.
Yes, and then that brings up a whole nother subject of, are people being paid a living wage if they can make more on unemployment?
Right.
But that's for another time.
That's another topic. But I think if that's something we're going to have to look at in the future, because if you're making a living wage, you want to go back. I mean, the last time I made unemployment was 45 years ago, and I was making $89 a week. I mean, now it's like what, $600-900 or something. So I want to go back to work.
Right.
There's no incentive there. There's no incentive to work. But I know, and people have other reasons. So they're scared to go back to work and scared of being infected or whatever. Yes. So I understand both sides of that. And we're just trying to work through everything. We're just listening to all the information. Sometimes media, I think, kind of, you don't know which media to listen to. I mean, you hear all these different scenarios. So we're doing our due diligence to try to take in everything we can to make sure we protect our citizens and do our due diligence as well. But police services are still there, fire protection, trash service. None of the services have been really affected. That much. We did have a large item pickup. It was kind of interesting to, they didn't want to pick up stuff. They were concerned. So what we did is we modified that and said, well, you have to have your large items out 72 hours prior to the pickup. That gave the trash haulers a little bit more confidence that they can handle the stuff and the contamination would be expired by the time they picked it up. So our community was great. I mean, they've done a great job of trying to work with us on the changes we've made. And I see people in the community, they're wearing masks, and not everybody, but the majority, and they're following their guidelines and social distancing and everything. So we've got a great community. And I don't think everybody's doing their best to do what they can do.
Yes.
Like I said, for those families in need, we do have resources in St. Charles County, in Wentzville. that I can connect them with. And like I said, St. Anne Joachim Care Service is one of them. Paul Cruz, the First Step Back Homeless. We have food pantries, St. Vincent de Paul. We have caring and sharing. There's a lot of food pantries out there, and I work with a lot of them. So if there's a need, we can get them to those resources to get those needs filled.
And if people needed those resources, could they check your Wentzville City website?
Yeah, or they can call me directly. But those are private, so we don't really list all of them on the website. I have a kind of a guide here that provides me a listing of all those services that are available.
Okay.
And I've been able to use those too. I promote them on my Facebook page. I have, a lot of information I put out on my Facebook. So if one person asks me for a service and I can connect them, then I'll put that out there for the rest of the people as well. And then we have for other information from the health department. I post that as well. If you need any other information that I don't have from the St. Charles County Health Department, I post that hotline number as well. So, but how are you doing? I mean, this has affected you guys as well. I mean, I know this is an interview for me, but
it has. We hear two different stories. Some people are not working at all, and it's hit them really hard. But a lot of our realtors are just as busy as they ever were. So they've adapted. Realtors are very good at adapting to new technology. So they've adapted to virtual tours, appointment-only showings. We've sold a lot of shoe covers and and everybody's got a mask. So business is still really good. They're still selling more homes than they can get their hands on. We might take a small hit, a little slump, but nothing that we can't come back from pretty strongly.
Right. I know it was a good market before this happened.
It was.
The market was in Wentzville, and we had a shortage of inventory from what I understood.
Yes.
So now we're starting to see a little bit more coming back. So, St. Charles County is a great place to be, and there's houses for sale out there. We welcome you to come to Wentzville, St. Peters, O'Fallon, Cotterville. It's a great service you guys provide as well.
I agree. Well, thank you so much for your time, Mayor.
You're welcome. I hope I provided some information. I mean, it's a lot going on. We're not doing anything much different than other cities are doing. We have a Metro Mayor's meeting once a week, and we also communicate with me and other mayors and city administrators. So, we get updates from the county executive, we get updates from the governor. So we're all trying to work together to get through this, and I know you guys are as well. So.
Yeah, and we're all doing a really great job of it. We'll get back soon.
Yes, yeah, I appreciate it. God bless and keep everybody safe, and look forward to talking to you in the future.
You as well. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.